I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood, I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Heart of Gold by Neil Young. This song is very near and dear to my heart. When I was 20 years old, I used to busk in the New York City subway with a guitar and a harmonica, and I would sing this song into the void, and it felt so good. I'm going to show you a piano accompaniment that is easy to play and sounds great. Let's jump in. So first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. I put a link down in the description. You can download it, print it out, and then follow along and see where the chords line up with the words. And this song's in the key of G major. So that's all the white keys, but Fs are sharped. And for reference, this is middle C. I'm going to be playing mostly with my right hand kind of around that middle C zone with the left hand a bit lower. And this song pretty much just uses 4 chords. So let's just go over those right now. So first chord we'll talk about is E minor. I'm doing the first inversion of E minor. That's G, B. I'm going to use my second finger on that B, and then E with the pinky. And you can do a low E bass note. So we're going to do bass notes just based on the note that the chords are named after throughout the song. We also need a C major chord. This is the second inversion of a C major chord. It's going to be G, C, and E. And then, so notice between the E minor chord and the C chord, the outside notes stayed the same, and we went from the second finger to the third finger. And I can play a C bass note like that. We're going to do a similar inversion on a D major chord. So that's going to be A, D, and F sharp, and then you can do a low D there in the bass. We also need a G major chord. Once again, we have a chord with the thumb on G. So the hand can really stay kind of in the same zone for a lot of this song. And I'm doing a G bass note here. So G, B, and D there. That's the root position G major chord. Now the only other chord that happens is the E minor 7. It's a particular voicing of it. Sounds like that. We're going to use that in the intro. So instead of doing an E minor like that, it's the same outside notes, and I'm going to use my fourth finger to hit a D, and I'm not going to hit that B. That's what we're going to use for that starts the song in the intro. Let's do the intro now. Here's the underlying chords for the intro, and we're in 4/4 time, so that means each measure that we're going to see in the song gets 4 counts. So we've got the E minor 7 for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go to a D major, and I'm actually going to do a higher D bass note here, like this, and that's for about 2 counts. We'll get into the rhythm in a sec. 1, 2, and then to the E minor. So it's E minor 7 at first, but we end on the E minor in the second measure. But let's get into the rhythm of it. So we're going to need to think in eighth notes. So not just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, but we're going to divide those beats in half and think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And so in this first measure with the E minor 7, on beat 1, we're going to just play the left hand bass note on that low E, and we're going to hold that out, and then for the rest of the measure, starting on beat 2, we're just going to play that E minor 7 shape in the right hand on every single eighth note. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So you don't play after the and of 1, you start on beat 2. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Cool. For the D chord here, it's pretty straightforward. You just play on beats 1 and 2. 1 and 2, but here you get to this E minor kind of a little bit early. Instead of on beat 3, which you might expect, it actually anticipates it by an eighth note. It's the and after 2. So that measure is going to look like 1, 2, and 3, 4. Again, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. A little bit of syncopation there. So all together we have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. And it goes twice. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now there's a really cool detail in the guitar part on the recording that I would say is totally optional. This is the little hammer-on riff that sounds like this. And if you want to do that, you can bring the left hand up to kind of like a 5-finger scale shape here and do A, B, D, E. Just stepping up there, skipping the C. Put that all together and it's going to sound like... And then it loops around again. To count it properly, you need to be thinking in 16th notes. So after 1, 2, and 3, E, and a 4, and a 4, and... like I said, that is totally optional. It's pretty tricky to jump your left hand up there and then do those fast notes, but you can throw it in if you like. Okay, so after that intro part, we've got the first of several harmonica breaks. Here's the underlying chord progression for that, and that's basically what also the verses are going to look like. So going back to the chords we talked about at the beginning, we've got a couple of measures here where we've got 2 chords per measure. So it's just going to be 2 counts on each. And I'm going to start doing quarter note chords in the right hand. So just playing on every count. So we've got E, 2. I'm going to use my 3rd finger for this E bass note here. So I can just step down to this C bass note. So 2 counts of C, step up to D, 2 using my 4th finger here, and G, 2. And that repeats 3 times. So let's just go around on that a few more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So this is of course where the harmonica solo is happening, but I think it's engaging without the harmonica there. And after you do that 3 times, we have this line that's exactly the same thing as what we did in the intro. It just does it once. And if you like, and that's when the verse would start. Now I'm going to give it just a little bit more rhythm in the left hand to mimic what the bass is doing on the recording and just give it a little bit more energy. In addition to playing on beat 1 and 3, which is when the chord changes hit, I'm also going to play on the and after 2 and the and after 4. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. If you need a little help getting that rhythm down, I made a video all about it. Really common left hand pattern. One final detail here is on that offbeat bass note hit after just the first E chord, I'm going to do a little walk down on D on my way to the C. So like 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right, let's keep moving on to the verse. So here's the underlying chords for the verse. The first 3 lines of the verse is exactly what we just learned, of course, with the singing. And then that second line, which repeats twice, should be pretty straightforward now that we know the chords and the timing of everything. So I'm just gonna slowly sing through this whole verse so you can get a feel for it. I wanna live, I want to give, I've been a miner for a heart of gold. So one more time through this. It's these expressions I never give. Now last line. Keep me searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. And then again on that line, keep me searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. So you may have heard it in your head that it does a little bit more at the end there with the rhythm. On that measure of C, we're going to stop doing our quarter note pulse and we're going to just do some rhythmic hits with both hands together. The timing is going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Again, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That's on. And I'm getting old. And then we can do this little melody that mimics the pedal steel on the recording. That's going to sound like this. So that's just going to be stepping down thirds, C and E, B and D, A and C, and then landing on the G major chord when we would have anyway. I'm doing 3 and 5, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, although if you want to just kind of hop like that, I won't tell anyone. And the timing for that measure is going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So again, that whole line. Keep me searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. I guess after I did the and I'm getting old, I did hit just on beat 4 there in the right hand only, just to kind of keep the rhythm going. Last thing I'll mention on this line is when we get to this last line that repeats twice, it really pulls back. It's going to get a lot quieter on that for and keeps me searching for a heart. And I might even add the 7th, the D in there. Sounds like he plays that on the guitar there. I might just kind of sneak it in a little bit just to color that chord. All right, so we've pretty much talked about everything here. After that verse, we've got another harmonica break just like the first one. Then we've got the second verse, just like the first verse. It's just the words are different. Then we've got a third harmonica break. Now this time, it only goes through the progression. It does that thing 3 times as it has, but it doesn't land on the other harmonica breaks do one of those at the end. And that's because it kind of goes straight into the outro, and the outro starts with that thing again. And it does that part 3 times. So let's talk about that outro. So in the outro, like I said, you land, and we've got 3 times through the, just like we've been doing. You can even add the, and that's when we start singing, keep me searching for a heart of gold. You keep me searching and I'm growing old. And one more time. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. And then now we've got, I've been a miner for a heart of gold. So this is kind of like what happens at the end of the verses, where we then have the So yeah, that is the end of the song. You do that same walk down we were just learning with the and then end on that G and that bass note, and then the song is over. The one other thing I didn't mention, if you're working on this and it doesn't sound as smooth as my playing, it's probably because I am using the sustain pedal throughout this whole song. Just been holding it down with a little lift every time the chord changes. If you need help with that, I did make a video all about sustain pedal timing, so check that out. All right, thank you for watching. I'm now going to do a full cover of the whole song from beginning to end. Hopefully that is helpful. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. And let me know in the comments what song you want to hear next. Okay, here is my version of Heart of Gold. I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood, I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind, it's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old, keeps me searching for a